Good morning.
Yes, so let's start with today's class. Hope you all did well in yesterday's exam. Yes, so in continuation with the source transformation, let's go ahead with one more problem. All of you have your notebook and pen with you? Do you have it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so now let's go with the next problem. So the problem says that you have to use the source transformation to find the current Ix in the circuit. And the circuit is this. This is the circuit. So what is Ix? Ix is the current which is flowing through 24 ohms resistor. Okay. And there is a dependent current source on the right hand side which has a value 0.7 Ix. Okay. And which is in parallel with your 10 ohms resistor. Okay, so what will you do? All of you please start doing, solving the problem. See, one thing I would like to tell you. Okay, just like something which will come from experience, like they have asked you to find out Ix, no? So as of now, don't do anything for this particular thing. You can change this also, correct? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Should change the current source to voltage source.
Yes. So this you keep it as it is. This part, voltage with the resistance 24, you keep it as it is. This one you change to a voltage source. Have you started already? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the value of the voltage source which you will get after the conversion, after the transformation?
7 Ix.
Yes, 10 into 0.7 Ix. So that means 7 Ix is the
7
voltage
X.
source. And how is the going to be the polarity?
Positive in upward direction.
Upwards positive.
Positive in upward direction, upper side, and negative on the lower side. And what about this 10 ohms resistance? What will happen to this 10 ohms resistor?
Series, ma'am. Series
In
with
series,
this.
ma'am.
That will come in series. So that means indirectly that 10 ohms will come in series with 60 ohms, correct? Yes or no?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now with that, the solution goes ahead. Is your circuit looking like this now? Kindly cooperate.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? So this is your 7 Ix, and since the current source was a dependent current source, obviously the voltage source will also be a dependent source, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so now you have 60 and 10 in series. So that means that will become 70, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so now you can, what is that else you can do over here? You can apply something like this. So you have a voltage source in series with the 70 ohms resistor, correct?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Again, I can apply source transformation once again.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So that I
0.1.
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, so that I will get a current source, correct? So that means it will give me this. This is voltage, this is resistance. So 7. So you are finding out the current. So current is equal to voltage by resistor. Are you all following me?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
So
0.1.
yes, so you will get
Yes, ma'am.
0.1 Ix, and the direction of the current source will be in upward direction because the polarity is positive on the upper side, correct? And what about this 70 ohms resistor? Since now you have converted it to,
Parallel.
yes, that will come in, this 70 ohms resistor will come in parallel. This 70 ohms resistor, which is in series with this dependent voltage source, will now come in parallel with this dependent current source. Are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So you have this conversion. Yes or no? So this voltage source 7ix in series with 70 ohms has been now again converted to a current source having a parallel resistance of 70. Now as such, if you look at the circuit, this 30 and 70 are in what combination?
Parallel.
Parallel. So that means how will you, what is the value of 30 and
21.
70 in parallel?
21.
21.
Yes. So now let's continue. So I will get 21, but that 21, 1 minute, sorry. Yes. Here. Yes. So this will result, I will write it in green color so that you will understand. So this gives me 21, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. But this 21, all of you please concentrate what I am saying. 21 ohms resistor will be in parallel with this 0.1 Ix current source, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So what is that we can do now for that then?
Volt, a battery
Convert-
conversion, ma'am.
Yeah.
Conversion.
Again, I can do the conversion,
Transform.
right? Yes. So that means this current source, which is now enclosed in this blue color circle line, I can convert it to voltage source, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
What will be the value of the voltage source after the conversion? 0.1 into 0.1 Ix into
21.
0.1 Ix into 21 into 21.
2.1 Ix.
Yes, so that comes out to be 2.1 Ix. What will be the polarity for this voltage source?
Positive in upward direction.
Positive upper and negative. And what will happen to this 21 ohms resistor which was in parallel with the current source? Now that will come in
Series.
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 series. So all of you are drawing in your notebook all these things?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now you can
Yes.
see that I have now a voltage source. Just now we have discussed 2.1 to 2.1 Ix. Yes, 2.1 Ix is the voltage source having a positive terminal on the upper side and negative terminal on the downside. And 120 1 ohms resistor will come in series. Did you all get this particular circuit after the source transformation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you know that whatever is the current Ix flowing through 24 ohms, the same is flowing through 21 ohms, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Because they are in series connection, ma'am.
They are in series. So now you have this as a voltage source, which is an independent voltage source, correct? This is these two are
Voltage.
no left hand side I am talking about 12 volts.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
12 volts is an independent source and 2.1 Ix is a dependent source, correct? Now how do I find out Ix? I can apply KVL.
KVL.
Yes, so let's apply the KVL. 12, I'm going in this particular direction. So obviously plus. So plus 12 minus this is going to current is entering over here. This is plus terminal. This is minus terminal. This is plus terminal. This is minus terminal. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So 12. So now I'm going in this direction. So I'm reaching towards the positive terminal of the 12. So 12 plus 12 minus 24 Ix minus 24 Ix minus 21 Ix because the same Ix current will flow through the 21 ohms resistor. Correct?
Plus 0.1.
Pardon me? Pardon me? Minus 2.1 Ix. You should take the voltage. The final reaching terminal, no? See here. I have started my journey from minus 12 volts. So minus to plus. So that means whatever is the reaching terminal, I am following this convention. If you are following minus, then you should have taken for 12 volts minus the for resistance plus point, and for 21 ohms also plus, and then in that case it could have been plus 2.1 ix. Anyone? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand? So I have taken this, I have started my journey like this one, this way, in this path. So obviously my reaching terminal is from here to here is positive. Then again from reaching terminal is negative for this element. For this element, reaching terminal is also negative. For this terminal, for this element, the reaching terminal is negative. Yes. So this is equal to 0. If somebody would have taken the starting point of the terminal, in that case the equation turns out to be this. But both ways you will get the same answer. But only thing is that don't mix up both the things. Like somebody said to take plus 2.1 ix. Till here you took the last terminal point. No, you have started from negative terminal, correct? Of 12 volts. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you solve this equation, please? 12 minus 24 ix minus 21 ix minus 2.1 ix is equal to 0. Can you tell me the ix value now from this equation?
12 minus
The final value.
0.254 amperes.
So ix is coming out to be 0. Tell me please.
254
255.
254 amperes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now what is that you have got? If I would have used the initial convention like minus 12 plus 224 ix plus 21 ix plus 2.1 ix. Even then I am getting the same equation, same value or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
254.8 milliamperes means 0.254 amperes, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but one suggestion from my side, do not mix up the things. Like for example, somebody said no, while why I am stressing more, because somebody said here for this plus 2.1 ix. So I went this way. So if I have taken the reaching terminal, that is first I have encountered minus terminal, then I went for plus terminal. So I have taken that convention. So plus 12 volts. Then another element has been crossed. So what is the reaching terminal of this element? That is negative. So here again same thing. I'm crossing the third element now. So what is that? Reaching terminal is negative. Now again I'm crossing another element which is a voltage dependent voltage source and reaching to a negative terminal of that. So whatever is my convention is normally like that I always consider the reaching terminal, but don't mix up. Okay. Hello.
Okay.
The one who was trying to say plus 2.1 ix, did you understand in my equation? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay, good. Yes. So certain things which you need to keep it in your mind when you are dealing with source transformation. Okay. The first point is, what is that we have studied? To take care of the arrow mark. How will you take care of the arrow mark for any current source or the voltage current source? What is that we are using the idea? Hello.
Ma'am, positive terminal of voltage source should be in same direction to the arrow.
Yes. So that means if the current is in upward direction, that means the upper pole is a positive pole, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So that is what this thing you should keep it in your mind. Otherwise your answers may go wrong. So please keep this point in your mind. Another point which you should keep it in your mind for the source transformation, this someone asked actually that day. One student asked actually. I don't remember his name, but yes. So suppose if you have R is equal to 0, resistance is equal to 0 in series with a voltage source, then source transformation cannot be applied for this. If R is equal to 0, which is normally we consider it as an ideal voltage source. Ideal voltage source will not have any resistance. But we are all working ahead with practical scenario where R won't be equal to 0. R won't be equal to 0. So that is why, since we are dealing with the practical scenario, resistance will not be equal to 0. So we are able to apply source transformation. If at all the resistance, or if somebody says that it is an ideal voltage source, so quickly what should come in your mind, that the resistance for the ideal source is 0, which is in series with that voltage source. In that case, the source transformation cannot be applied. The same case is applicable for the current source. If somebody will say that yes, the current source is an ideal current source. For ideal current source, always the resistance will be equal to infinity. The resistance will be equal to infinity. So if the resistance is infinity, which is coming in parallel with the ideal current source, then source transformation cannot be applied. That means you cannot convert such a current source to a voltage source. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So just keep it in your
Only
mind.
for the practical it is applicable, ma'am.
Yeah. You're talking about source transformation, right?
Yes.
Yes. Source transformation is applicable only for the practical voltage, which is very much like correct, right? We all are using practical scenario only, right? In all our analysis. Yes. So for a voltage source, if the resistance is equal to 0, which is in series, then you cannot apply the source transformation. If you consider a current source and if the resistance is infinity, which is in parallel, you cannot apply the source transformation. This case is mostly applicable for a ideal situation. So for all practical scenarios, resistance will have certain value. Resistance will never be equal to 0. Okay. Now coming to certain questions for homework, or you can consider it as an assignment, whatever way you want to consider. Can you take a snapshot and please solve this as a homework? Answers I have provided. If you face any difficulty, we can discuss it out. Can you take a snapshot quickly? Now I have a request for all of you. And the request is, see, in circuit theory, there are lots of problems which can be solved, thousands or like that. But yes, nobody can solve it like that. But if you solve whatever problems are solved in the class and whatever problems are given for homework on your own, that much if you will solve, you will be comfortable with any circuit. That much guarantee I can give you. So I'm not giving you 10 or 15 homeworks. Yes, for one topic, some 3 to 4 or maybe maximum 5. So will you solve these 3?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Before you come for the next class. Okay. Yes. So next let's go ahead with the superposition theorem. Have you heard the word superposition anywhere?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you study this word?
First sem.
Okay, so basically let me tell you what is superposition theorem. Here is see, any given circuit for that matter will have either current sources, will have either voltage sources, they may be dependent, they may be independent, whatever is that. Okay, so that means in a circuit you will have multiple sources. In such scenario, if somebody asks you, okay, please measure the current flowing through a resistor, or please measure the voltage at a particular node, that current which is flowing through the resistor will have some effect because of all the sources, right? So you can very easily find out the current flowing through a particular node or a voltage at a particular current flowing through an element and voltage at a particular node. You can find out very easily using mesh analysis or nodal analysis, which forms the very foundation. But yes, there is one more method to find out this using superposition theorem. Now, what do we do in that? So let's look at this. So if your circuit has two or more independent sources, there can be dependent sources also, but we will see what to do for dependent sources. One way to determine the specific variable like current or voltage is to use the nodal analysis or mesh analysis. But there is one more way to find out either current or a voltage using superposition theorem. And the superposition theorem says that the principle states that the voltage across a particular particular element or a current through an element in a linear circuit is algebraic sum of the voltages across or current through that element due to each independent source acting alone. Can you please note down this particular thing which is there in the blue color in your notebook? Please note down the superposition principle. I will explain you what is this, but first you note it down. Yes, now let's look at the statement what it says. So the principle states that either you can find a voltage across an element or current through an element in a circuit, which is an algebraic sum of voltages or current. So if you are finding out voltages, or then it is sum of voltages. If you are finding out current through, then it is current through that particular, that an element due to each independent source. Please take care. Independent source acting alone. Independent source only you have to consider acting alone. Okay, so that means this, if you have any dependent voltage sources, you cannot make them active alone. Okay, so that let's take an example and then let's go ahead with that. So the principle of superposition helps us to analyze a linear circuit with more than one independent source by calculating the contribution of each independent source separately. That means at a time you will be considering only one independent source and then you will find the current or voltage. Then next time you will consider another independent source, keeping all other voltage sources, independent sources, as off. So let's look at this. What is that we need to do? So therefore, the first point, which is a very important point, is so consider only one independent source. Consider only one independent source at a time, while all other independent sources turned off. Now this point is very important. What is the meaning of turned off? The meaning of turned off is replace every voltage source by 0 volts. So that means you have to short circuit your voltage sources, whereas your current sources need to be open circuit because it will have 0 amperes of current. So please remember one thing. If you have multiple sources, only one independent source will be acting at a time. Rest all independent sources. This is applicable. This first point is applicable only for independent sources. Please remember, Independent sources only you can turn them off. How? If it is a voltage source, which is an independent source, then you have to short it up. If it is a current source, then you have to make it as open. This is the first step, and only one independent source will be acting. So once the examples will start, it is easy to understand. Coming to the second point, which is dealing with the dependent sources. The dependent sources are left intact because they are controlled by the circuit variables. The meaning is you cannot turn off the dependent sources. You cannot turn them off. Even if it is a voltage source or a current source, you cannot either short it or you cannot open circuit it respectively. You cannot do. So please do not do anything for the dependent sources. Just let them be as it is in the circuit. Only thing is that independent sources you can turn them off. If it is a voltage source, short it. If it is a current source, open circuit. Is this okay? Little bit. Of course, once we start with the examples, things will be clear. But as of now, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please note down these 2 points? These 2 points are very important. Please note down these 2 points in your notebook. Have you noted down?
2 minutes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, shall we move ahead? Yes. So the steps for superposition principle, in what way you are going to go ahead with that, are listed out over here. But this we will come back as a summary, because when you will understand, this will be understood only when you will go ahead with the problem. But since I am going to give you the PPT, I have kept it as it is for your reference. Okay. So this we will discuss when we'll go ahead with the problem. So all of you are ready? Yes. So now let's go ahead with the first example for the superposition category. So using superposition theorem, find V naught in the circuit shown over here. All of you please note down the circuit. Now, what is your observation? How many sources are there and what type of sources do you have?
Sources and 2 are voltage sources.
2 independent sources.
Yes, 2 independent voltage sources we have in this circuit. And where is V naught? V naught is over here. V naught is over here. Correct. Now, please understand whatever in the text form we were looking at, I will tell you in this with respect to this circuit. What you need to consider is you have to consider the effect of, I'm telling you the meaning actually. You have to consider the effect of, let's say 3 volts on this V naught, so that you will calculate the V naught as per if only 3 volts is acting. But whereas 9 volts is kept off. And since 9 volts is a independent voltage source, it has to be short circuited at that point of time. That is the meaning of turning off. So then that means only 3 volts is there, only 1 voltage source is acting. That time you will find your V naught. That is with respect to, let's say that voltage is, let's say I'm denoting it as V1. Next time, what I'm doing, I will keep this 3 volts as off And since it is an independent voltage source, it has to be short circuited. Then I will make my 9 volts acting. So that means this, because of this 9 volt also I will get some value at V0. So that I will call it as, let's say, V2. Now if somebody will say that, yes, what is the V value? So the total V0 value will be the effect of this V1 and V2. That is V1 plus V2. So V0 will be V1 plus V2. So now let's look at the solution and then we will go ahead with one by one step. This was just an yes. So now let's go ahead with the solution. So what you need to do always in this type of examples, you are required to find out V0. And how many sources are there? 2. One is 3 volts, one is 9 volts. So that means you have to have V0 is equal to V1, which may be because of either 9 volts or 3 volts, any one of them, and V2. Again, the other one, whichever you are going to consider. So that means V0 is addition of V1 and V2, where V1 and V2 are due to 9 volts and 3 volt sources respectively. The meaning is V1 you will calculate when 9 volts source is acting, that means 3 volts is short circuited, and V2 is the voltage at V0 terminal, which you will be finding when 3 volts is acting, but 9 volts is short circuited. Okay, so let's look at the further analysis. So now in this, the first thing is you need to find out V1. But what is V1 as per our analysis? V1 is the voltage when 9 volts is acting, correct? Hello? V1 is the voltage when 9 volts is acting and 3 volts is short circuited. So let's look at the scenario. All of you please note down the things. Now, if 9, somebody please, I think by mistake you have put yourself on unmute case. Kindly mute yourself. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Yes. So now you can see over here.
Oh, no.
Array, what is this? Yes. So you have 3 ohms resistor. You have 9 ohms, 9 volts source, which is acting now. But 3 volts is what you are going to turn it off. What is the meaning of turning off? You are going to short it. Short. So when you are shorting it up, you can see in this branch only shorting means this way. So you are going to see only 1 ohms resistor, correct? On the right hand side.
Ma'am, 4 ohms resistor is not there.
I will tell you. 1 minute. Let's talk about the right side first. Is it okay towards the right hand side?
Yes, ma'am.
Please understand the meaning of turning off. I am turning off the 3 volts independent source means I am shorting it. I'm shorting it. Now coming to the left hand side. On the left hand side, can you see 5 ohms and 4 ohms are in series?
Yes, ma'am.
So obviously they will get added up, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you have got 9 ohms resistor. Rest everything is the same. So right now you are considering only 9 volts source is acting. That means 9 volt source is present in the circuit, whereas all other voltage sources are turned off. If it is a voltage source, you are turning off means you are shorting it. So because of shorting, you can see on the right hand side only 1 ohms resistor. So now as such a circuit will look like this, the one which is shown below. 9 volts, 3 ohms in series with this 3 ohms in series with this 9 volts. Right hand side you have 1 ohm and the left hand side you have a 9 ohms. So as such, if I mark the current which can be flowing, let's say the current is flowing out of the voltage source. So obviously it will get divided. Part of current will flow through 1 ohm, part of current will flow through 9 ohm, and you will have a node voltage which is now denoted as V1. Now tell me once again, what is V1 we are assuming?
9.
No, V1 is not 9 volts. V1 is the voltage when 9 volt source is acting. Please complete the sentence. Yes. Now tell me once again, what is V1?
Voltage when only 9 volt is acting.
Yes. And 3 volt source is short circuited. Okay. Now tell me, can you find out V1 over here? Now you can use anything like either you can use mesh analysis, nodal analysis, whatever you want, you can measure. How will you find out V1?
Ma'am, we can find the current and then find V1.
V1 by 9 plus V minus 9 by 3 like that. Nodal analysis.
Yeah, see now that is what, yeah. You can use nodal analysis. Somebody will use it is fine. Like some students may use whatever clicks to your mind first. Somebody will apply only KVL in the two mesh analysis is also possible. But then only thing is that you have to find the current and then like that. So with mesh analysis, you will get the current, but with nodal analysis, you will get directly the voltage. So if you apply nodal analysis, you will get the voltage. So I am using a nodal analysis. Yes, all of you please use the nodal analysis for this circuit and find out. Apply the nodal analysis for this. Yesterday only the exam got over. So you should be able to apply the nodal analysis. How is the current flowing here? I consider this as a reference node. Let this be ground. So how is the current flowing through this 9 ohms? Starting from V1 going up to 0. Hello. So V1 minus 0 by 9, correct? Hello.
V1 is equal to 90 by 13, ma'am.
Yes. How about others? So if I assume this as, let's say this as I1 current. This as I2 current. This as I3 current. So in that case, what is the equation? I3 is equal to
I1 plus I2.
I1 plus. Hello. I1 plus I2, correct? Yes. What is I3?
I1 plus I2, ma'am.
No. What is, yeah, that is fine. I3 is I1 plus I2 is fine. What is I3 from the circuit as per the nodal analysis?
V1 minus 9 by 3.
No, I3 is flowing from 9 to V1. No. I3 is flowing
like
from
negative.
9.
9 minus V1 by 3.
Yes, 9 minus V1 by 3. Look at the direction of the current. Look at the direction of the current. 9 minus V1 by 3. That is equal to I1. What is I1? I1 is flowing from
By 9.
V1
by 9.
V1 by 9.
V1. Yes, actually speaking, if you want in detailed calculation, V1 minus 0 because this ground. So V1 by 9. V1 minus 0 by 9. That I will consider it is like plus I2. V1 minus 0. I will write it. Yes. Plus I2. What is I2? I2 is flowing from V1
V1
to ground. So V1 minus 0.
Y1.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, actually, while calculating nodal analysis, for our convenience, we take all currents leaving at the node, ma'am. If there is any current source in that node, then it is, towards the node means we can take it negative like that also we can do it, ma'am.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't get your question. But you are saying that you took I3 minus I1 minus I2.
Ma'am, I took V1 by 9 plus V1 minus 9 by 3 plus V1 by 1 is equal to 0, ma'am.
1 minute, 1 minute. Can I write V1?
V1 by 9.
V1 by 9 you took, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Plus V1 minus 9 by 3.
1 minute. V1 by 9 you took, okay, plus
V1 minus 9 by 3.
V1 minus 9 by V1
By 3, ma'am.
minus 9 by 3,
Plus
okay,
V1 is equal to 0, ma'am.
plus V1
Is equal to 0.
is equal
Ma'am,
to
we just
0.
took I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to 0, ma'am. We just took the current direction of I3 as reverse.
Huh,
It's
yes.
Acha,
the same, ma'am.
acha.
It's the
Oh,
same, ma'am.
okay. It's there. Yeah. That is fine. That is fine. Yes. What is the answer you people are getting?
Ma'am, 27 by 13.
2.077, ma'am.
Huh?
2.076.
2.077 amperes, ma'am.
2.70.
2.07, ma'am.
2.07. The other guy for whom I wrote the equation here. For what is the answer you are getting?
Ma'am, for me also 2.07 only, ma'am.
But where is the unit?
Yeah.
2.07 volt, ma'am.
Volts.
Yes. So that means it is up to you. What is the name of this guy? So that it will be easy for me. Who gave this equation?
Adi Kartikeya, ma'am.
Adi Kartikeya. So it is you have to decide what direction of current you are assuming. Okay. Okay, na?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Yes. So therefore, you will get your answer as. But what is this answer for? Can anybody tell me? What is this answer for?
Ma'am, voltage when we consider only 9 volt.
Correct.
V1.
This V1. Yes, this is the V1. That means which is the V1 voltage is the effect of 9 volts by shorting your 3 volts. So that means you need to find out now V2 again. Correct? Yes. So now to find out V2. How will you find out V2? 3 volts acting, 9 volts short circuited. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So 9 volts was here. 9 volts was here. Do you remember? The
Yes, ma'am.
9 volts was here. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
So now since 9 volts need to be short circuited, that is turning off. So obviously I have turn off the 9 volts. Somebody's mic. Can you mute yourself, please? So now here, yes. Now for me, 9 volts is need to be short circuited. Turn off 9 volts and just 3 volts is acting. So turning off 9 volts means short circuited. So you can see on the left hand side, you will get 9 ohms because 4 and 5 are in series. On the right hand side, 3 volts along with this 1 ohms will be acting. So you will get this kind of circuit. Is it okay? Is this okay? How did you get this circuit? All
Yes,
of
ma'am.
you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now I am naming this node voltage as V2. And these are the current directions which I have assumed. The current is entering into V2 from this side and the current is leaving V2. These are my current directions which I have assumed. Okay. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now again use nodal analysis to find out V2 quickly.
Ma'am, we get the same value, ma'am. 2.076923 something.
Others, please.
Yes, ma'am. Same
Yes,
value.
ma'am. Same value we got, ma'am.
Now 9 volts is not there. Now you have a 3 volts which is acting. So you are getting same voltage value as V2, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But what is our V0 as per our understanding?
V1 plus V2.
Yes, our final answer. The question says find V0. So our final answer is V0 which is equal to V1 plus V2. So therefore you need to add at the last step that V naught is equal to V1 plus V2. So V1 is 2.07 volts. V2 is also 2.07 volts. So please write down the final answer as V naught is equal to V1 plus V2, which comes out to be 4.1538 volts. All of you, please note down the equation for nodal analysis. So V2 by 9. So this, let's say this is my I1. Let's say this is my I2. And let's say this is my I3. So my I3 is equal to I1 plus I2. My I3 is equal to I1.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I have a doubt that why we considered V naught is equal to V1 plus V2, ma'am.
V naught is equal to
V1 plus V2, how we got that, ma'am?
this first equation you are talking about.
Ah, yes, ma'am, the first one.
Yes. 1 minute. See, I could have found V naught value just like that using your mesh analysis or nodal analysis altogether. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. But now the question says that you have to use the superposition theorem. Okay. The meaning of superposition theorem is when you have more than one voltage source or current source, you are going to consider at the time only one source acting and rest. So how many cases I will get, since I have two voltage source in my this question? So obviously first case is the case where 9 volts acting but 3 volts short circuited.
Ma'am, in case
One
there is
minute,
any.
one minute. Let me complete. Second case can be the other way around. So when you are finding out the first case, that means the effect of 9 volts at this node voltage you are finding out. When you are going ahead with the second case where 3 volts is acting and 9 volts is short circuited, that means that time you are finding out the effect of 3 volts on this node voltage. So as a overall circuit, what is my conclusion? What is V naught? V naught is the effect of 9 volts as well as 3 volts altogether. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Then if I say the effect of 9 volts and 3 volts altogether, so obviously whatever is V1 because of 9 volts acting and whatever is V2 because of 3 volts acting, it is getting added up. Correct?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, also one thing, ma'am. Is there any case that like V1 minus V2 like that it is there to find?
Yes, 1 minute. I will tell you about it. Just a moment. Yes. Sometimes now how you are getting your V1 as 2.0769. No?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And you are getting your V2 also the same value, right? Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In some scenario of some circuit, you might get V2 as a minus value. If V2 comes as a negative value, suppose, for example, in that case, automatically it is going to be, that equation will take care. It is automatically going to be you got a negative value for V2. Okay.
Ah, yes, ma'am. So generally we have to take V naught is equal to sum of.
Addition. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, got it, ma'am.
Yes. Very good. Good. I liked it. I like the question. It shows that you are thinking. Okay. So is it okay as a simple example for superposition theorem?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Just a moment. Can you just try out this, because the time for the class is over actually.
Yes, ma'am.
But I will solve this in the class in the next class. But something should come from your side also, no? Just a practice. Give a try. But remember, those who are trying it out will be the winners one day. Have you noted down the circuit?
1 minute.
So how many questions do you have a homework for today?
4 questions, ma'am.
4, ma'am.
Yes.
Four questions.
Three from source transformation, and this one is a homework.
Also, like actually, Sanjika Devi ma'am told she'll explain some practice problems and some questions now.
Ma'am, I actually had
For-
to doubts with the topic.
For what?
Okay, continue.
No, I didn't get you actually. What you are saying? Arey, somebody saying something?
Ma'am, actually I had this doubt, ma'am. Where can we get the solutions for the quiz one? I mean, we have a few doubts, so we need a solution for
Yeah.
Who
1
can we
minute.
ask for that?
Yes. If you have any doubt in quiz 1 question, see what is generally our procedure is we will correct the papers, and when we distribute it to you people, that time we will discuss the answer key. That's the procedure what we follow. Okay, so just wait for a few, give us some time, no, to correct the papers. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. No, ma'am. Actually, the thing is, this portion will be repeating for the
Correct.
the
Okay, so now looking at this scenario, yes, I understood. We will take one extra session to discuss the quiz answer key. Okay, we will not wait for our correction. Okay, we will discuss. We all the 3 faculty members will discuss and will let you know. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Ma'am, and what will be the portions for periodical test 1, ma'am?
We will soon announce about it. Okay. Yes. Have you noted down the circuit?
Yes, ma'am.
So 2 sources are there, current source and voltage source. Current source, if it is turning off, means what will you take?
Short
Voltage.
circuit.
Open circuit.
No.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
open circuit, ma'am.
Current source off means what it should be.
Open circuit, ma'am. So
Yes,
don't
it has to
consider
be
that branch
open.
itself.
Yes, it has to be open. This branch won't be there. And then 18 volts will be acting. And the next case will be 6 amperes will be acting. 18 volts will be short circuited. Correct? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
For
ma'am.
first case, we have to use KVL. For second case, we have to use
Up to you. Yes, up to
current
you.
division.
Yes, that is why I said KCL, KVL, mesh analysis and nodal analysis. These 4 forms the foundation. You can apply that to any circuit for various, to go ahead with various theorems. So
Direct current division we can use, ma'am.
you can, up to you. That's what I'm saying. You can use voltage divider theorem, current, what it is up to you, the way what strikes to your mind, because that will come when you practice more. So if you practice more, immediately it will come to your mind. Yes, I can apply voltage divider theorem here, and then immediately I can find out. I can apply so and so, and I can find out. Okay.
Ma'am, can you give us the final answer, ma'am? Is it 7?
Yes, ma'am, coming
Must
7.
be like solution, right?
I will discuss this problem in my next class. Let others also solve it, no? Because if I will solve it now, I mean, I will tell you the answer, they may not solve, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
So you have 4 examples for homework today. Please complete all the 4 today itself, so that before you forget the concept, and then come for the next class. And soon we will announce the portions for periodical tests, and we will discuss the quiz answer key with you. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Keep practicing. Thank you.
Stop recording, ma'am.